Hallelujah. Amen. Amen. Awesome word. We got to represent the light. We need to show ourselves as sons of light. Amen. Thank you, Apostle Pastor T, for this opportunity. I had 101 reasons as why I shouldn't, and I couldn't. I was trying to make up excuses, but nevertheless, God's will shall be done. I prayed and asked what he would have me to talk about, and we're talking about, she's right, we're into the next era of 2020 according to the Hebrew calendar. And he took me to Genesis 31, and it's a familiar passage. And I was like, well, what that have to do with me or the timing? So Genesis 31, verse 3 reads, and the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto the land of thy fathers and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. I'm going to jump down to 24, and it says, and God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob, either good or bad. Then I'm going to jump over to 38, and it says, this 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hands didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years of thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, that thou hast changed my wages 10 times. 42 says, except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God hath seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. I heard 3 things. The ending is better than the beginning. She said about the beginning is the ending and the ending is beginning. Then I heard everybody can't cross over with you. Then I also heard I'm not going out like this. I think Jacob had made up in his mind after he heard Laban's children talking, and he saw the countenance of Laban towards him, and he said, I'm not going out like this. And so I can just say that he had to go in the corner. He had to talk to his father, and the Lord said, it's time for you to go. One thing I like about God is he'll speak to you. Not only will he speak to you when you come to an ending of a thing, he'll speak to your enemy as well. He'll let your enemy also know that your time has come to an end. You can go and confront him about what he did, but you no longer have power over him. You no longer have control over him. See, Jacob sat in a place or worked in a place where he was manipulated and misused for 20 years. I know some of us feel like that. I can't speak for y'all, but I know for me, I said I had to see myself in this. 10 years I had to fight me because I was the person that was destroying myself. 4 years of it I was in an abusive relationship, and another few years of it I had to deal with family. So I had to see myself in that situation, and I had to make up in my mind that I'm not going out like this. When I step over in 2020, in just a few minutes, I'm going in with everything that God has for me. The anointing and the power that he's given me to progress forward. I shall not, like Apostle said, everybody can't go with you. And that's what I heard. He said everybody can't cross over with you. Come on, Joshua. He said to Joshua, Moses, my servant, is dead now. It's time for you to rise up and cross over Jordan. Sometimes we get to the ending and we get fearful. We scared to step over. Our promise is right here within arm's reach, but we scared to step over because we're afraid. We're afraid that we're going to fail. We're afraid that we're not going to make it. We're afraid that the people that we have to leave behind, that they're going to be mad at us because they can't step over. But he said, arise now. Now you're going to lead the people of Israel across Jordan. But one thing I like about that is he only had a few key people that was able to spot and see the vision. See, your circle, look to the right and to the left to your neighbor. Because see, in 2020, they may not be around you all the time. And you have to be okay with that. It's going to be a faithful few that God has predestined for you and assigned to you to go in that 2020. There's no longer going to be lack in your life. It's time for you to step over in 2020 to redeem the wars. The suffering has come to an end. And it's time for you to cross over to redeem receive the rewards that God has for you. It's a redeeming time now as we go in 2020. The manifestation of what he promised you in 2019 is about to be revealed in 2020. One thing I like about Jacob, even after all of this, and Laban had let him go, he had to go and meet Esau. Sometimes you got to run back across them family members and them people that had that did you wrong or you did wrong. Because see, he was known as a trickster. So he had to go back and a little fear stepped in. He got scared. He went back to what he knew. If I can trick him, if I can trick him by sending this right here, it'll make him feel better. But oh, what I love about God, he says, when I take you over in 2020, that you used to do, you won't do no more. So he had to go back and have another encounter. I think he called it Peniah, if I'm pronouncing it right. But he had to go have an encounter. He had to wrestle with the angel all night long. And he said, it's morning now. He said, I'm not going to let you go till you bless me. And he hit the hollow of his hip. And now he walk with a limp. So you may go in 2020, you may be going in with a limp, but you won't go in with the same thing you had in 2019. 2020 is the year of redemption. Hallelujah. Glory to the name of God. Hallelujah. I thank you now, God, when you come to the end of your suffering. When you have come to your end of your suffering. Jacob had to come to the end of his suffering. He didn't have to suffer that no more. He didn't have to face that no more. My testimony is abuse. I don't have to face the domestic violence abuse no more. I don't have to face my family coming up against me no more. God has now given me the power and the authority that I can speak to that thing and keep it moving. Just like Apostle said, you can be in a relationship with them, but you don't have to be close to them no more. You can love them enough to let them go. So I thank God that even when Jacob did all that and they reconciled, he continued to go forth. He didn't have to stay around his family. He continued to go forth and God prospered him right in the midst of them. So what I say to you as I take my seat, this is now a perfect period. 2019 or 20, perfect period of waiting. Your labor and suffering that leads to deliverance and great reward has come to an end. If you choose, as my brothers say, get out the starting block and go to the end. Many blessings to you.